I got to hear this.
Okay. So I'm sure Brew's very excited to hear this because the Chiefs lost to
What a day to come back.
It's a great day for Brew to come back because the Chiefs lost to a team that Brew wrote off for dead months ago.
Well,
a team that has no
nobody's thinking
chance.
about that
okay.
right now.
So I have some props to give. I have a pronouncement to make and a proclamation. Okay.
Okay.
Let's
Props,
start.
pronouncement, and then proclamation.
Exactly. Let's start with the props. The Bengals were the better team. Joe Burrow was, for a day, the best player on the field. And the Chiefs didn't get unlucky. It was, yes, Travis Kelce fumbled, but the Bengals also dropped a touchdown pass. There was I didn't like the decision to take the ball out of Mahomes' hands with kicking the field goal, but the Chiefs also got pretty fortunate on the fourth down stop from the Bengals goal line. The Bengals outplayed Kansas City, and the Chiefs were unable to do what you have to do to slow this team down. Get Joe Burrow on the ground.
Yeah.
The Chiefs' pass rush, while they hurried him, they did not effectively they didn't sack him, and they didn't effectively adversely impact his ability to find Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. They deserve to win, okay? That's first of all.
Okay.
The pronouncement is this.
Okay.
The Chiefs now finally have a rival.
Okay.
Oh, right.
And it has been
Have they
far
won like the last
too
3-0
long.
Super Bowls?
No, I didn't know, but they
One
haven't
Super
had a
Bowl.
rival. They were going to have a rival with Brady and the Patriots, but then he left. They now have a rival, a team that can look them in the eye and say, we're not afraid of you. We've beaten you. And in fact, you haven't beaten us.
Yeah,
now, they've all been
else has
close
done that.
games.
Yeah.
No, Cincinnati is nobody else but knows and believes in the biggest spots they can beat Kansas City. Cincinnati should know and should believe that. This was a big game for Kansas City, and Cincinnati won. So the Chiefs finally have a rival, and Joe Burrow has asserted himself as the second best quarterback in football. So that's the pronouncement.
Wow.
Not bad.
And now the proclamation.
Oh!
I hope you and all of America enjoy today and enjoy the victory lap over me being upset and the victory lap over the Chiefs looking vulnerable. Because I guarantee you,
Oh, it's Barkley-esque.
but I don't do it like Barkley very often.
No.
I haven't done this in 3 years. I guarantee you the Chiefs are not losing again this season.
This counts the playoffs?
That the Chiefs are not, we're talking about the regular season, but sure, throw the playoffs.
No.
Wow.
Well, he's going to throw it in.
But the Chiefs are
You're
going
not-
to be the 1 seed. So take a picture of the standings right now
Okay.
with Buffalo up top.
Who's the 1 seed right now?
Buffalo. Take a
Oh.
picture of it.
Oh.
Take a picture of it, Brew, because I guarantee you Kansas City's running the table the rest of the way out. I've done that once
I
ever
know
on this
the
show
schedule.
before. It was 2019. And what they did was run the table and won
No,
the Super
you
Bowl.
said they were going to go 20-0.
No,
Am I mistaken?
I
A
said
few
they need to
years
be on
ago?
20-0 watch.
Last year?
I did not guarantee 20-0. I said they need to be on 20-0 watch.
Oh, okay.
And that's what happened. So there it is. Props Cincinnati. Props to Joe Burrow for finally having a rival, Mahomes rival in the AFC. And I hope everyone enjoys it because it's not for long, but it's
The
a nice day.
schedule's weak. I'll give you that. The
Well, when you
Chiefs
play the
schedule-
hardest
He's
schedule
not
in
saying
football,
much,
when you
all
play
right?
the hardest
schedule's
schedule in
weak.
football for 11 weeks, you get a nice little benefit.
Maybe
at the
Russell turned back the clock one of those meetings with the.
end. Yeah, how can the schedule be weak? They
Okay.
play Denver twice.
Let me. All right, I'll address your goobly gook in a little while. First of all, I got to say that I think this is an appropriate time to remind everyone. I am from Cincinnati.
Oh, my God.
Okay,
You
I
wrote
am
them off.
from Cincinnati.
You said they were done.
No, hold on. I'm an Ohio boy through and through, both north and south. All right, I lived in Cincinnati. I lived in Cleveland. So I am claiming Cincinnati. And I got to say this.
Yeah.
Ever since week 3, I haven't felt right.
No. This is after
You
you wrote
haven't
them all.
known. Yeah, after they
noticed
were
it.
0-2 and I wrote the Bengals off, I just haven't
We were
felt
all
right.
off.
Yeah, it was
because
it was something off, and I didn't want to flip-flop like some on this show in the NBA Finals, but, things like that. I didn't want to flip-flop, all right? Just in the middle of a series or a season even, all right? So I stuck with the Bengals saying they're done because, even though my heart and my head were going the opposite direction. But now, Cincinnati, I got to say something to you, all right? I was wrong. All right, Cincinnati, I am with you. Who day?
Hey,
Cincinnati, you will make the playoffs.
Oh, you don't say.
You will make the playoffs.
Of course you don't make the playoffs.
That's what I said. said
make
they
the
wouldn't
playoffs?
make the playoffs in 0-2.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
No.
You know what, Wildes?
That was
you know
a
what they're
lot.
never going to call him?
Mr. Consistency.
They're never going to call you
That's this
Mr.
guy.
Consistency. I mean, how can you write him? Like, let me ask you this, Brew. Do you think the Cincinnati Bengals have a chance to go back to the Super Bowl?
A chance. A chance, but I am sticking with my number 1 seed, my pick,
Okay.
the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
All right, so I have no problem with that.
playoffs.
All right, but I just had
Cincinnati's
to
gonna make the
Cincinnati take back
Put
your
it on the
prodigal
board.
son.
Cincinnati
Take back your
playoffs.
prodigal son. But I gotta say this:
The prodigal son.
being wrong never felt so right. Because you beat Knicks, Chiefs. Not only did they beat them, they own you. They own your Chiefs. You're
Right
hoping
now,
they
yeah.
beat Buffalo, even though Buffalo gonna do damage to them in the playoffs. But they own your Chiefs. You know that.
Well, listen,
3
it's-
straight this calendar year.
Listen, the Chiefs have lost 5 games in 2022.
Yeah.
3 of them are to this guy. 3 of them are to Cincinnati.
Silly.
Now, they're all close games. They all came down to the final seconds, and Cincinnati's won all 3. They have 3 fourth-quarter
They can beat them
comebacks
close, too.
against Kansas City. I give them massive credit. Like, that is – can I just say this real quick because he invoked Buffalo, and then we can move forward?
Sure.
This is – people say that, oh, Nick, the teams you dislike are the ones you're afraid of. Not true. I just want teams to earn it before they're anointed it.
Oh,
so
God, I cannot believe that just came
No.
out of your mouth. The dynasty,
I
the,
do.
the one
Well, no,
championship
you
You got
dynasty.
one ring.
Wait, that's
I mean,
fine.
you act like they're in the Super Bowl every
no,
year.
what I act like is that since Mahomes came into the league, they have without question, without any equivocation, by any metric, been the most successful team in the league. By any metric. There's no one has been more successful since Mahomes came into the league.
Well, Brady
and when it
as a
comes to
player
but no team has been more successful.
guys have a decent amount of silver and
No, but
bronze
that's
medals.
fine. But that's not. I'm not talking about the Chiefs here. I'm actually talking about the Bengals. You will not hear a single critical word from me about Cincinnati because they have earned it.
They haven't won anything either.
Unlike a team like the Bills, who has just anointed it, the Bengals have said, you know how we're going to show you we're the Chiefs' rivals? We're going to end their season. You know how we're going to show you we are for real? We are going to make a Super Bowl. And then the next year, we're going to follow it up by beating them again. I give them credit. I give Joe Burrow, who has the real pedigree, who is the number 1 pick of the draft and a Heisman Trophy winner and a national championship, credit for being a guy who right now to me looks like the second best quarterback in football. I have no problem giving guys credit when they've earned it. And Cincinnati continues to go earn it.
Sure.
So which is why it's so disappointing that Brew, being from there, abandoned them so early in the year.
Who that? Ain't abandoned no more. Who dat?
Let's get into specifics of the game. 4th and 7 late.
It's terrible.
After a sack, Andy Reid decides to try the 55-yard field goal rather than roll the dice
Yeah, it's terrible.
with his Jordan-esque QB. You coined that phrase.
Yeah, I did.
Here's Patrick after the game.
We paid Bucker, and we have one of the best kickers in the league, so we trust in him in those moments, and he's made a lot of big kicks. So this one didn't go our way, but if we're in that moment again, I trust he'll make it.
Okay, so listen, they do have one of the best kickers in the league. And Butker's, aside from extra points, you could argue is the second best kicker in the league to Justin Tucker. I do trust Butker. Butker made the huge kick against Buffalo. He made a huge kick against Cincinnati last year to get the game into overtime. I do trust Butker. The problem with that decision was that kick wouldn't have won the game. Right. That kick would have tied the game, and then you just got to give the ball back to Joe Burrow. I hated the decision because it took the ball out of Mahomes' hands and, more importantly, made it so that you couldn't end the game on offense. And the Chiefs yesterday felt like the Chiefs of a few years ago, where the defense is not going to create any resistance. Right. So I wanted the game to end with Mahomes, either a field goal to send it to overtime in the final seconds, but I didn't like the decision because even if they made it, I think they would have lost. Because I think it would have just been Cincinnati drives 60 yards and then kicks a field goal at the end of regulation, as they did not in the playoff game last year, but in the first meeting last year that they beat them on a field goal at the gun. So I hated that decision.
I will say this, though. Think about it. I mean, that 3rd and 11, Burrow's pass to T. Higgins for 14, that was incredible. Nice. The pass and the catch. So if they don't get that, Nick, and oftentimes you're not going to convert that, then the Chiefs have the ball probably down 6, right?
Right, with a minute 50 left.
Yeah, so 30-24, you got faith in Mahomes going down, scoring a touchdown. it would have worked in that point. I'm with you generally, though. I mean, it was 4th and 7. That's not why they lost. I think you'll admit that.
Yeah.
Right? It was
No.
4th and 7. It wasn't a QB sneak or 4th and 1 or something like that. But I agree with you in that they had not stopped the Bengals. The Bengals had scored their last
The
three
Bengals had
possessions.
stopped themselves.
2 field goals and a touchdown.
And one of the field goals was after they dropped a wide open touchdown.
So
the Chiefs defense did not step up. Mahomes, to my eye yesterday, made one mistake. The pass that could have been intercepted, he threw into triple coverage. You didn't see it. Yesterday, I actually thought Mahomes played a really good game. And Kelsey's fumble and the defense and some tough coaching decisions, worked against him.
Right.
But you've got to go up and seize the moment. And I thought the Bengals' decision to pass the ball in that second down where he took the sack after that play, and Romo killed him for it as he should have, was a terrible coaching decision. And it put the Chiefs in position where, oh my God, you could win. You could have almost 2 full minutes. Burrow stepping up and converting that 3rd and 11 is, I mean, I'll walk into it, Wildes. It is MVP stuff.
Oh, there we go. Great transition by you. More post-game sound.
Great
This
play.
is a quote from Jamar Chase. Said his quarterback should be getting some more MVP buzz, saying, quote, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Everybody knows that. He should be in the MVP race. If he's not in it, he should be. That makes sense. Brew, here are the stats. Mahomes, Hurts, and Burrow. Hold on, you can see a third of them. It's a reveal. There we go.
Yep.
Brew, if you had a vote, and we know you have an MVP vote, Nick doesn't, but if you also had an NFL vote,
NBA.
who are you going with?
I got to be honest. At this moment, I still give Patrick Mahomes a slight
Wow.
over Jalen Hurts. I think Burrow is now in the conversation.
That's correct.
But that's the right order. Mahomes, Hurts, Burrow. But I tell you, Hurts is close, Nick. I really think it's nip and tuck now between
Hurts narrowed the gap this weekend.
And Mahomes, absolutely.
Mahomes didn't have jaw-dropping numbers. Hurts threw for almost 400, and his team won. So it took 13 minutes and 32 seconds, but you got something right this segment. Welcome back, my friend. That is exactly right. It is Mahomes, Hurts, Burrow. Conspicuously absent from the list is the 0-time MVP, 0-time AFC champion Josh Allen. However,
rather win the Super Bowl.
you'd like to appear in either one, but unfortunately, it's probably not going to happen. But Burrow has to be in the conversation. Of course, I know you don't like MVP conversations.
No, it's
but
fine.
especially now that the NFL changed its rules, and I want to reiterate this because I think a lot of the audience probably doesn't know. It used to be you just submit one name. Now they're doing it like the NBA. You submit a 5-person ballot. I think it would be very hard, if it ended right now, for anyone not to have Burrow on the ballot. I think that what he's been able to do, the loss of Chase for a month, the fact that the offensive line was, is kind of a work in progress. The guy, I know it's cliche at this time to say he's cool under pressure because his nickname's Joe Cool. But he is, man.
Yeah.
And that 3rd and 11 is the touchdown run, just like this is, again, I hate to do it, but Wildes, what do they call me?
Mr. Consistent.
Thank you. And I am consistent.
Who's they? Who's they?
I have people on the street. I don't know. Media writers. I don't know. Just check
The zeitgeist.
I haven't heard one person other than you. Wow.
If the Chiefs had won that game, would I come out here and say Mahomes' lunging, leaping touchdown was an MVP moment? I would have. Joe Burrow's wasn't as fancy, and it wasn't as late in the game, but his touchdown run counts for as many points, and the biggest play of the game was right there to win it, and he made it. So I can be, I am dripping in objectivity, and I am objective in saying Joe Burrow, the 2nd best quarterback in football, deserves to be on the MVP radar at the very least. Jamar Chase is correct.
That's great. Everybody's correct except Jalen Hurts MVP. 11-1.
Okay.
He blows teams out like, I didn't have a real moment.
I'm not mad at you.
4 touchdowns. My goodness. Guess who is about to be a free agent or picked up on the waiver wire? Your soon-to-be guy, Baker. Oh, Brew's going to become a Baker guy. Now that Jimmy G is gone.
Well, we'll see.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.